Hey, friend, what's happening? Welcome back to another episode of Compassionate Warrior, where today we're going to talk about monitoring that monkey mind for miracles. Basically, all I'm saying is how we can watch our thoughts, our mental chatter, and use that for growth. Use this information to find more deep meaning and richness in life. Okay, so I want to start with a question. You ever catch yourself just like daydreaming in mid thought and like, what the hell am I even thinking or saying? Like 15 minutes later, you realize you've been like on a whole storyline fantasy tale that's totally out there in like la la land. Okay? This used to happen to me all the time, like for hours. I'd be painting walls or digging holes all day, and it's like I would just get away. I'd escape. I would daydream. Stuff that was just like totally random. Or I'd have, obviously all these thoughts pop up, and I'd cling on to one, and I just would think about it, analyze it for hours. Or even 15 minutes is a long time for something random, when we could be using that energy to develop ourselves. So I'm going to kind of break it down real short, a couple of different scenarios and tricks I use so that you can make something so subjective in here and actually make it objective out there. And once you start to see that and realize that, you can learn to use it to manifest really what you want. The person you want to be, the life you want to have. So this video is going to be practical, yet pretty abstract too. For example, the first thing I like to think of is, you guys know like that, you ever see like one of those tornadoes, but it's just like leaves in your yard or something? It's just like a little wind swirl of leaves. Well, imagine you're stepped right in the middle of that. You're in too close, and all you know are leaves coming to smack you. They stick and shuffle, stick and shuffle. And all you're seeing is just like, whoa, it can be overwhelming. It can be too much. It can be fucking terrifying. You don't know what's happening. That could be like your thoughts, right? If you're too in close and don't have any separation, it's just one thought after another. A tornado, a frenzy of leaves and thoughts and ideas and speculations, theories and beliefs. It's just a whirlwind going on. And it's like, holy hell, you're scrambled brained all over the place. Well, what if you took a step back and you see, oh my God, it's beautiful. You see the whole picture. You're not so in close, tied up in it, getting swept away in the current, but you're taking that step back and you're saying, whoa. You see the whole picture. You see how they're arising and circulating. And it's like an endless nonsense. And when you're not so in close to it, you can actually see it's kind of a mysterious miracle beauty. The whole thing in itself, you can just sit back and watch your thoughts pop up and circle and spin and leave, and they come in. You're not actually saying that these thoughts are facts or reality. Because that's the misconception. If you get caught up in these leaf after leaf, you think that that's all they are, without realizing that it's based on like past experiences that we mix in emotion. And that's like our subconscious working. So sometimes these thoughts, if we hold on to them and they give us a positive feeling, I like to kind of celebrate those, a little mini celebration. If I have a positive perception, it's like, hey, I'm going to give it a little smile or a little thank you, just to keep that little guy coming back. Just these positive feelings and sensations coming back. This is how we use what we're given. But if it's negative, a little negative, let's say you have a negative feeling about yourself, and you, instead of just like rejecting it and forcing it away, it's like, get the fuck out of my head, it's like a leaf, and then because you resist it, it will persist. So, and what you can do is a negative thought comes up about yourself and say, yeah, I'm just no good. I'm not a good person. I'm not worthy. Some of the shit that pops up that's very real to me, a lot of people, they have these feelings like I'm inadequate. And that's a shit feeling. And you don't want those to come back because that doesn't make your life feel very good. So what you do is say, okay, well, first off, is this pointing to something? This stings, this hurts. Is there some truth behind it? Could I be doing something to better myself, to make me feel a little bit better? And so, without taking too much time or energy with it, you kind of just accept it. Accept that this thought's here, even though you are disassociated from the illusion of it. You're not wrapped up in saying, well, this is so true because I think it. I must be a jackass because I think so. Well, create some separation. Why? What's the underlying root of this? What happened? And if you can't figure out right now and then, just say, okay, hey, I accept that in my subconscious somewhere, there's some thoughts swirling around that hold me in a negative light, and I accept that. Or I surrender to that. And now it kind of goes hand in hand, but if you surrender to it, you have these thoughts pop up, you're sitting back, you say, I'm not this, I'm not that. This thought, that thought, I'm not this or that. That's not me, because I is totally a larger entity. That's just a part. Realizing that these are popping up, they are rising inside me, a part of me, but not all of me. So you realize this and you say to yourself, well, then there's something else going on here, something larger. And when you start to distance that, your mental chatter versus your feelings and sensations, you start to distance that. You actually start to create a little bit of freedom. You break out of that prison, that mental prison of just everything shoved in, popping up, and you're saying, nah, hey, I surrender that all this is going on. I don't control that. I'm not trying to control that, but I accept it. And you get this fucking total freeing feeling. Right? Even blissful experience because you're not tied down and bogged to everything popping up. Because the more things that you cling on to that pops in your head and you just cling on to them and hold on to them as facts, you actually give them strength. Right? And then also the more you resist and try to get out and find peace, you also are getting wrapped up into a struggle. So when I say earlier surrendering, I used to think that was a sign of weakness. You know what I mean? Surrendering, fuck that. I'd fight like hell. I said, nah, hey, I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling weak. Say, well, fuck that. No, hey, that positive psychology jam in there and say, no, I feel great. I keep going. And it was like futile. You fight like hell, but at the end of it, you're worn out, beat down, and defeated. You're more tired. Instead of just surrender, it's like look, hey, you stand up, look into the belly of the beast, and you say, here I am. Okay? I'm not going anywhere. Do the best you can, because I'm staying right here. And you're saying this to yourself. And you're saying it's the negative shit. The shit that you're really afraid of. And you feel this sense, this higher self speaking that's untouchable, that's unbreakable, that's unshakable. And I'm telling you, that gives you a sense of tenacity, fierceness, courage, and confidence, and actually peace. It'll give you peace. Because you see that even though the scary shit comes, the really bad stuff comes, you're standing there looking right in the eye. Hey, I'm untouched. Okay? And this takes practice, but you're going to see that you start to grow this inner sense, this inner core. The part that is untouchable. This sense of I am. Not this me, this little futile, weak, finite human me, but this I, right? And that is when you're going to start to seriously grow. That's when you get a lot more wisdom, a lot more strength, and a lot more ability to do what you want to do in life. You're not getting caught up with these finite thoughts, petty. Those keep you distracted from this larger sense. Okay? And that's what this channel is all about, on this personal path, journey to being your own compassionate warrior, to being your own humble hero of your story. Because life breaks down to, look, we got beauty and love, conflict and struggle, victory and defeat. That's all the name of the game. Basically, we're thrown into life and we're not really told how to play. And so we get to decide for ourselves. What happens a lot of the time is we compare ourselves with others and say, am I doing it right? And look, each of us is going to have that own feeling, that feel good and empowered. And that's what you just want to go towards. And when you can start to separate from all the little shit, the pain and the thoughts and all this shit that's affecting this me, and you start to get that distance, you start to feel a lot better. Okay, I hope this helps, my friends. Until next time, signing out.